Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am streaming and recording. I'm going to try something new here where I record and stream at the same time, just so people who at I guess 12 o'clock on the East Coast, 1:40 or 12:43 on the East Coast, 1:43 here in Puerto Rico, because we don't have daylight savings time. People can watch later. So let's see if anyone wants to play classical. I'm basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be posting things on YouTube. Probably not the entire stream, but like a game. I'm calling it game of the day, and I'm going to try to do it every day. Which I don't promise that I will be successful in that endeavor, but I'm going to try to do it as much as I can. And so this is game of the day number 1, and then I might continue the stream, or I might just stop, depending on how much time I have. So I've explained many times before, I like knight f6 because, well, the best move is knight c3, and it takes opponents time to figure that out, and also it stops some minor systems with queen d4 if I play cd4 right away. So I have sufficient hydration here, water and Pepsi Black. Hashtag sponsored. No, I'm joking. It was on sale for $7. Normally I buy, it's like to play a Nightorf here. Normally I buy a Coke Zero, but it was on, like, they were giving away Pepsi Black for like 79 cents. So give it a whirl. All right, a6. So just explaining the move a6, which it does, I mean, while it's certainly a well-known theory move, and it's the most popular form of the Sicilian, some people might always ask, or especially players rated, I would even say I always say below 2,000, but like, why in God's green earth would we play a6 on move 5 when we're already behind in development? And the point is that it's very hard to develop your pieces as white against the Sicilian, precisely because black has not committed his center pawns, and so I can deploy my center pawns based on how white develops. And here, obviously, with bishop c4, I'm going to be playing a6. If he plays bishop e2, then e5 to kick the knight out of the center, and then eventually playing bishop e6 to take the strong diagonal myself is a good plan. And the point is that I just a6, it forces white to show his hand and develop somehow. So I'll be playing e6, and now this bishop doesn't make much sense, right? It's like he almost played a French defense where like e4. I mean, this is exaggerated, but e4, e6, bishop c4 or something. All right, so again, the system I like here is knight bd7. Bishop b3 is the main move. Let's see what my opponent comes up with. Also check to see if anyone's texting me. The answer to that question is no. Heard my phone go off. Okay, so I think I've seen castles here. Knight e6 doesn't work yet. Otherwise, knight bd7 would suck. Or bishop e6, excuse me. If my opponent castles first, instead of bishop b3, then bishop e6 does work, because there's lots of the defenses involve playing queen a5 check in some of those lines. So okay, so now he is threatening knight e6, so the main move is knight c5. Believe queen f3 is a move. e4 is a move. So if queen f3, bishop e7, queen g3 castles, bishop h6, knight e8. I remember that being a thing. I have not, bishop c, I really need to look at this more carefully in like my own study, because I did look at this quite extensively at one point, but I just no one over the board has played bishop c4 against me, and I've played a lot of Najdorf. English defense is by far the most popular. Rook e1. Well, so this is I think he's trying to angle for some sort of knight d5 shenanigans. So so I'm gonna, pretty sure I'm supposed to just play bishop e7. So I think the one idea would be to try to play b5 and bishop b7 first. Because if I play bishop e7 first and I play b5, knight c6 is annoying. So, but I think I need to. Again, I would, if this wasn't a game 15, I would investigate this more. But I'm pretty sure I need to. If I play b5, I think knight d5 is an issue. So I think I'm going to just take, and now if he plays knight d5, I can scoop it. I can just snap it off, and it's not check, and I can castle. So there's no monkey business other than someone revving their motorcycle outside my home, but that is okay. I mean, I guess one issue is, do I have time for queen c7 and b5? That's kind of an interesting question. Wow, can I take on e4 now? Ninety-four, and I really am not seeing a discovery that's good. I mean, obviously I want to look at it for a second here, because mainly because I like leaning into the camera when I'm thinking, because I tend to do that over the board when I'm playing over the board, so it's just kind of a natural reflex. I mean, I think so. Here's the thing. I think if I just castle, I think I'm actually just slightly better already, because my opponent hasn't done any. So black always has the long-term advantages in the Sicilian defense because of the center pawns, and so that's why white always tries to do something like violently lashes out to say, okay, I have the short-term advantages, mainly a lead in development, and so I'm gonna make something of that right now. And you know, if we reach an endgame, I'm toast anyway. So I'm just gonna, I don't care if I create a bunch of weaknesses. I'm just gonna play violent attacking lines. So that's kind of why the Sicilian has a reputation as like a sharp opening. That's because white is making it sharp, because white has to make it sharp, because otherwise white just has fewer center pawns, right? If white just kind of plays normal developing moves. And so looking at rook e1 and bishop e3, these are kind of normal developing moves. These are not, my opponent has not done anything really violent like the English attack with f3 and g4, or other stuff like castling queenside. So I'm almost positive black's already slightly better after just castles. So that's an argument, I guess, especially at the faster time control, which I'll run down all my time explaining, but that's kind of the point of the stream and the video. Just castling. But I'm almost positive 94 just looks like that's just a free pawn, so I'm going to take this. Yeah, that doesn't, I don't think that does what he thinks it does. Because now I can just play knight f6. I think I'm going to get a very strong attack here. I mean, I should have considered that he was getting the G pawn, but gosh, just the double center pawns are really good. All right. The endgames are also excellent for me because just, again, my pieces, my center pawns do such a good job limiting my opponent's pieces. If I can snag one of the bishops, that's also going to be kind of devastating for my opponent too. The bishop, if I can, so like ideas later, if I can ever make knight g4 work, I can't do it now because of this. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was talking to you guys and then I missed queen g4 like I always do when I play, whenever I stream. G3. Okay. It's just preemptive. Okay, yeah, it's just preemptive. I mean, I guess I probably have a draw if I want it with rook g6, queen h4, rook g4. I mean, queen a5 is a clear candidate. I wonder if I can play queen a5. The reason I like queen a5 is because it kind of eyes the f5 square, and I just don't want this garbage. And I also kind of threaten castle's queenside and rook g6. Rook g6, queen. Wait a minute, rook g6 might just. Did I just? Could I have just played rook g6 here? Because I'm really that lame. Because now, knight h3. Or queen h3. It's kind of forced. Yeah, I'm gonna play rook g6. That looks really good. I don't think I can play e5 yet. Can't I win a piece there? e5. Queen f3. I'll find a way to mess this up. But I mean, it's got to be e5. Queen f3. e4. Bishop d4. my opponent's also playing incredibly fast, which makes me very suspicious. These are somewhat tactical, although I'm not going to throw out accusations just based on circumstantial evidence. But again, my opponent is playing incredibly quickly, so that's always suspicious, especially in when it's a non-blitz game in very tactical positions. But again, maybe my opponent was just playing a bunch of blitz, and so that would make sense. E4 or E5, Queen F3, ED4, Bishop D4, threatening Bishop F6, and also threatening Queen C7 or Queen B7. Okay. So King F8, Queen B7. Opponent certainly has some. I mean, that's hard to assess here. What happens if I play it safe and just play Queen A5? Thank you for the follow. Quite hard to assess whether or not E5 actually wins a piece or just invites more trouble. E5, Queen F3. Bishop G4 doesn't seem to do anything yet. ED4, Bishop D4, Bishop C6 is not really a thing yet either. Because I think just Bishop F6 kind of wrecks me. Bishop F6, Bishop F3, Rook E6. No. I can probably play Bishop F3. The question is, yeah, I can play Bishop F3. Or Bishop C6, sorry. I can play Bishop F3. It's a tough decision. Queen A5 definitely. I like Black's position. All right, I'm gonna play E5. Is Bishop F7 check a thing? At any point here? No, not yet. All right, do your worst. Oh, I guess my opponent's not cheating. I apologize to my opponent. He's just playing really, really fast. So, again, it's just a coincidence. That he's just playing incredibly fast, and he's making bad moves and good moves because, when they say with chess, a lot of times your first impression of can sometimes be a really strong move, and my opponent was just making it instantaneously. I don't know. I'm curious. Can I play E5? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the computer's definitely saying that it's not just it's good, which was my intuition said it was good, but White had play. So Queen F3. And this is not good. Okay. Yep. Because that's what I thought. Queen F6. So King F8. Queen C8. Okay, now I just kind of take over the light squares here. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right. Well, I was hoping to play another. I'm hoping to play another game here. This I will get destroyed in because that's just too fast. This I'm going to have a chance in, and also because my opponent's a little bit lower rated. So my rating has been taking an absolute beating from streaming. Alright, and then as my faithful viewers, I like to know CD5 is my preferred move here. I just like to directly get the extra center pawn. Okay, this is the semi-Tarish with former world champion Vladimir Kramnik has kind of revived, but otherwise it's known to be just kind of slightly better for white. I think in the hands of a player like Kramnik, certainly, black. White's only a little bit better, so black has very good drawing chances. But this is not an opening I would suggest that non-super GMs play, because black is hard. It's very hard for black to win, and again, I'm of the firm belief that below the super GM level, you should be trying to win with both colors. Queen A5. So the main move here is CD4, CD4, Bishop B4 check, and again, the method to Black's madness, where it's like, wait a minute, didn't he just give up 2 pawns in the center, or just give white 2 pawns in the center is great, but black saying, okay, yeah, I'm a little cramped, but I got to trade off 2 sets of minor pieces. So here, my opponent is not going to get to. Oh, he might. Well, he can play CD4, CD4, Bishop B4, but then I can play Rook. I can play Rook B1. Yeah, Bishop E7 is not optimal here. All right, let's play Bishop D3. If my opponent lets me, I'm just gonna start playing on the king side with E5. Assuming knight C6 is the move. Yeah, that's really not. All right, so this is a little tricky. I'm not married to castling, but if I don't do anything in the center, my opponent's not going to have to castle, and then my kingside attack is not as strong. Could try knight to E5 with the idea of queen G4, and then knight E5 also has an idea of like knight C4 at some point. It looks kind of fancy. Knight G5 is not a thing yet. Knight E5. Seems like he just moves his knight and just trades a piece, sets a piece off. So, all right, I'm gonna reluctantly castle here because I just don't see a. Again, I wanted to keep the dream alive with H4, but if my opponent was truly gonna do nothing, but I think I have to give my opponent a little more respect than that. Certainly think C4 and D5 is getting to be, yeah, I think that's getting to be kind of an interesting line. Bishop F6 is okay. I can play Rook B1. And then I can kind of play Knight G5 with the threat of F4 if he plays Bishop F6. sure about that because now I can play bishop e3 and I'm kind of just threatening f4 here, which is not going to be pleasant for my opponent. And obviously, if ed4, or ed5, I will definitely play ed5 or cd5. Excuse me. ed5's interesting actually, but I want to be able to play f4. Yeah, I mean, okay, but just rook b1. Now I'm threatening to take here, so my opponent kind of has to do something about that. And I suppose queen d6, but then I'm just going to play f4. Queen c7. Okay, yeah, no, that makes more sense. Yeah. So I think my opponent, I think e4 is totally forced here. Or e5 is totally. Why am my notation is awful today? Yep. ed5. Well, yeah. What is the deal here? No, I'm just gonna try to run this guy over. I don't really see. I think these pawns are just too slow. Sorry, I lost the password to my Twitch account, so I'm recovering it. I just never log in. This is streaming from a different machine. That do? Oh, I guess it just, okay. Well, the answer is not a whole lot, but I guess it stops e5. I mean, I guess I'll make your piece go to a5. And then decide if I want to take on c. I can't take. No, I can take on c5. I might not want to. No, I guess I do because then I can just roll. Then I don't have to worry. Then my opponent has no chance of counterplay with b5 and that kind of nonsense. So I mean, the point is these are. If white makes some mistakes, these are kind of some powerful pawns. So I'm just going to take this. And if he lets me move my queen, I'll be really happy. But my opponent should play b6 and play an endgame here. But I'll play a much worse ending. But oh, I guess I'm hitting this and this too. So yeah, okay. My opponent's just absurdly dead here. Yeah, give me that. Yeah, let's play bishop. I don't care about bishop h6. h3. I'll just play rook f2 and king f1. And while bishop e5 looks like a cute shot, I mean, it doesn't do anything. He just moves his rook, and then And see, that's bishop. There's no like monkey business with b5 and this diagonal. I'd still have time for king f1, but whatever. And I'm assuming my opponent plays rook c8, in which case I'm gonna just play king f1. No, because bishop g2 is a thing. All right, bishop d3 then. Okay, that's reasonable. That's expected as well. All right, I would like your bishop to please leave. Okay, so I'm just going to keep improving my pieces. My opponent's position does basically 0, and also this stops this kind of nonsense. I guess if given the chance. Okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to actually take the time to take over the C file here because, well, I think it's useful, and I don't want to allow my opponent any whiff of counterplay. And then I'm going to start pushing my pawns in the center. Once all my playing like e5, e6, or e5, or e5, d6, or e5, e6, depending. And once it's optimized my pieces. Where am I from? I am from the U.S. My wife is Puerto Rican, so I live in Puerto Rico. A4 do anything yet? Probably is. A4. No, I don't do ultra bullet. I just don't enjoy it. I don't think it's. I don't enjoy bullet either. All right, I'll play A4. So I can play bishop A6 if he. Plays B4, right? Yeah. All right, I missed that. Yes, I'm aware that my nickname is in Spanish. I guess I'll just play here. I don't. I can time down to the beat. Ooh, okay. The more trades, the happier I am. Well, because the king and pawn ending is absolutely lost for my opponent, so. Never let the passed pawn advance. No, I can just bring my king in. I'm playing a little fast. All right. Yeah, mm, not in the mood. I don't want to race. Um, yeah, I'm gonna play rook d2 because that threatens to just play. That threatens to just queen my pawn. If he plays b4, I think d6 is probably good enough. If I can trade this pawn for this pawn, that shuts down his counterplay, and I can win pretty quick. I can win this pretty easily. Let's just play e5. Because now I can play king d3 if I need to. King d3 and the threat is king c3. Yeah, see, I did not. I misplayed this for sure. Because I'm still gonna win, but it's just much. It's much too close for comfort, I would say. If I play king d3, king b4, king d4, king a3, king d5, my pass pawn king d5, b2, rook d1, king a2, f5, b1 queen takes e6. My pass pawns are too fast. So I'm going to do that, but like this is, I should not have allowed my opponent this big of a chance to come back. So I can probably just take that. But I guess is there a reason to? I mean, his king is a little bit farther away if I play rook d1. And I guess I should have taken it because now and again, allowing your opponent to queen a pawn is not good technique. I was up enough pawns that it didn't matter, but this was not the way to win this game. If his king's on b2 instead, I don't think it changes anything. Yeah. Okay, so instead of rook b4, I guess I should just start improving my king. Because the pawn's actually not threatening to advance. Alright. Yep, this guy looks good. And it's a good time control. Hopefully we get a d4 game where my opponent plays d4, because I will be playing e5 just to mix it up here, because we just saw a Sicilian game. I've been playing the Too Nice Defense and the Schliemann counter gambit. And I don't like playing against the Scotch. I guess now it's some sort of weird Goring gambit or something. E5 doesn't work because D5, so I'm going to play knight F6. Isn't this just like well known to be like fine for black? Okay. I will permit all of this. Does Bishop C5 do things? Probably not. Bishop C5. Again, I'm really well versed in like, because I never play E4, E5 off the board because again, I'm a firm believer in playing for a win with both colors, but I'm really well versed in the garbage against the Sicilian. I'm not as well versed against E4 like nonsense, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do here. From like a theoretical standpoint, I'm sure black has more than one good move. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe because I have no reason not to. And then as soon as I play F6, the position's equal. I'm gonna run to the bathroom very quickly. I mean, okay, castles. I'm just gonna play bishop E7. And then castles and C5 and then F6 at some point here, but just gotta make sure my opponent can't respond with E6, which that won't be hard to do. That will not be hard to do. So Karma, are you when you say I am from this country? Tú eres boricua. Where are you from? Because when you say this country, do you mean the country that I am currently in? Get some water opponent is thinking. Okay, F3 makes sense. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll just play knight c5. I mean, the other knight g5, and then he's gonna play f4. And that's typical. I know that's a typical like dance that happens in this position, but I guess I can get away. I can play knight c5 too. Yeah. Yeah, do I need to, if I play f6 here, e6 takes, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. I'm just gonna castle. I guess the threat now is f6. And if he plays f5, yeah. But now, thinking my opponent is rapidly falling behind in development, so now I can play. Still can't play f6, but I can play. A couple options. Yeah, I'm obviously. I mean, yes, I'm running the risk of just getting buried here, but I'm not going to let that happen. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with knight e4. Well, what happens if I play c5? C5. I could bishop G5 looks kind of perhaps interesting as well. Although I don't think it quite does the job. Bishop C5, DE4. Knight E4, DE4. Probably has to play C3 there. I don't like that either. Alrighty. I feel like I should be able to do something here. Yeah, I'm gonna play C5. And then if he plays knight f3, then I can maybe play knight g5, right? Knight e2. Bishop g4 doesn't do anything. All right, I'll play bishop g5. I mean, f6 is. Which I could also trade into that. No, bishop g5 doesn't work yet. Queen c8, de4. Yeah, he just says knight g3 is just a huge issue there. Or f6. Okay, now I think I'm kind of forced to play bishop g4, g5, I mean. So I can let him play f6 if I can keep control of the dark squares, which means I need an active square for my queen on the king side. The idea here is that I'm going to take his bishop and then play queen h4. But I'm getting very skeptical of my position here. to take it. Fe5 loses. F5 loses too, because this is hanging. Alright, that looks like the only move that kind of survives. And my position is terrible, but yeah, I guess I just didn't respect this idea of getting pawns on f4 and e5, but I think bishop h6 should be good enough. It's probably good enough. Yeah, I'm super dead here. All right, GG. Bishop c5. I guess I just need to, okay, so I just need to play more actively. Like E8, and it's tough to, bishop, I thought I could just play bishop f4 here. What does this do? Oh, I get to win the f pawn. Okay, alright. Play one more game. Alright, c5 it is. And again, I'm much more prepared in these lines. H3, okay. So I guess I should have explained. I kept trying to find to do something active, and I found it because I had to do something active with his pawns, and I knew that the line wasn't good that he played, because I'm like, if white could just run black over like that, then everyone would play that. But I just hadn't seen any games, and c3. I'm just gonna play e6 and see what my opponent. I can play a6 and b5 later if he doesn't play d4 right now, or I could play a6 and b5 later anyway, and I don't mind playing a renegade structure if my opponent's gonna play moves like h3. Alright, so nice being not way down on time. I don't know. I don't think my point. I guess I don't. I actually don't know what the best move is here. I think h3 just kind of made so little sense that my opponent kind of messed his position up. Okay, so now we're just playing an open Sicilian where my opponent is. We're playing. I guess I could play a6 here, which kind of like to, but just because then we transpose to the h3 Najdorf, which is terrible for white, but. Yeah, but wasn't the point of this to play a queen d4 so that you don't have to protect the pawn with this knight and then you can play c4? Isn't that the whole point of this? So I guess if you've played, I mean, if I play knight c6, he's going to play bishop b5, so I'm going to either play bishop d7 or a6, but bishop d7, knight b5, does that do things? Yeah, maybe it does. All right, I'll play a6. Before I play knight c6, so that when I play knight c6, he has to move his queen. This is a known. That's the bishop b5 thing is a known idea in the queen d4 lines. So I guess I don't see why you would play why h3 helps you in the queen d4 lines, but and also. By delaying a move and then having to commit to knight c3, you lose a main idea of the queen d4 lines, which is to get to play c4. Because you don't have to play knight c3 to defend the e-pawn because your queen defends it. So speaking of which, while my opponent thinks here, that's the main reason why if they play d4 here, I like to play knight f6 because they have to play knight c3, and then if you play cd4, the queen d4 lines don't make sense because again, the knight's already on c3. And then after I'm in Puerto Rico, I don't have to file a federal return. I might actually have to file a federal return, but e5, yeah, but now knight c6 and you can't pin me, right? So. And yeah, I'd rather have bishop d7 in, I suppose, because that's a developing move. I thought if bishop d7 knight b5 was an issue. My mailman is here. 1 second. Okay. Junk mail bros and girls, sorry. Yeah, I guess, all right. And then, I guess I eat it with this so that there's no knight g5 nonsense. And then queen d8, and I can hide my king on c7, and wow, a6 makes sense because there's no knight b5. So I'm just going to take the free pawn. Yeah, and there's the advantage of this is like if he plays knight g5, I would have to defend my. I have to play king e8. I don't want to deal with that nonsense. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna let me do that, I will certainly play b5, so I can play bishop b7 and start activating mis piezas. echo. What do I want to do with my bishop? Probably just bishop e7. Oh, I guess I should have played... No, it's fine. I was thinking that I should have played bishop b4, so they could play e5 if he tries to get the pawn back. Bishop e3. Well, I'm not going to let you play bishop b6 check because that's obnoxious. So I will improve my king. And I don't, now, it's obnoxious because it kind of disrupts my development. Now, if a4, I'm going to play b4, and then knight a4, then just bishop c6, and I don't particularly care about knight c5 or knight b6 or bishop b6 check, because I just play king b7. It's like, okay, you know. So we shall see what my opponent does. But right now, my opponent is down a pawn for nothing. And actually, if a4, I don't even have to play b4. I can play. I guess I'll just play bishop c6 and just defend the pawn. And then my opponent can do whatever my opponent does. See, now I'm the one cheating because I have more time than I started with. No, it's just these moves have been very straightforward. But when the moves are not straightforward and your opponent is playing very quick and playing good moves, that's when it starts to get suspicious. In my opponent's case, the first opponent, he was playing moves that looked like they could be good moves or moves that would you'd think would require quite a bit of thought. And I was like, yeah, this is kind of weird because I'm actually just going to play bishop c6. I don't really see a reason not to just keep improving my pieces here. And also giving me another square for my king if I need it. So I was like, all right, queen f4, he played it instantaneously. It gives up a piece, but it seems to be really complex, and it gives him some potential counterplay. That was just my first blush, and I'm like, he could be using his intuition to do that, or he could have, the other explanation could be, oh, he saw it gave up a piece, but the opponent who was cheating would be like, oh, but the computer says it's fine. So, because those would take a long time for a human to figure out when he played instantaneously. It's a data point. And so I've certainly played opponents where they'll rattle off 10, they'll rattle off a bunch of moves like that and then keep racking up more and more time, and then usually I don't have to report them, they'll just get caught. Like the native anti-cheating stuff on Lichess will catch them. This opponent, yeah, again, intuition is right a lot of the time, and he was just playing really fast, but then wasn't verifying things and then just hung his queen. So again, I think, and I think I fell into this trap. There's always a rush to accuse people of cheating. I think that people take circumstantial evidence and then they yeah, like they use some circumstantial evidence to accuse someone, and then that's not enough. You have to have like real, like you have to really make your, you have to have a strong case. I kind of just want to play rook fd8. I could also, I think I'm just going to play h6 because my opponent's going to move his bishop. Yeah, I'm just going to play h6 so that my opponent can't pin me and I can play e4 and keep my pawn if I need to. Not pin me, but more like threaten to remove my knight after I play e4. Okay, play e4 next, continue to squeeze my opponent, and then I might even follow up with a5 and e4 at some point if I want to try to open a front on the queen side. One thing is I do want to push my kingside pawns at some point, but right now these pawns are doing a really good job of keeping this piece and this piece out of the game. So I want to hold. That's something I want to do later and hold off for now, or at least it's something to do again after I've optimized my pieces. Bishop cat 1. All right, I will trade. Knight d1. Okay. Unfortunately, on bishop f4 check, I might have to play bishop d6, which sucks, but to keep the pawn. But then I can just kind of start walking my king into the game. And also, I'm not sure. Oh, I guess you know what? I should have played rook d1 or rook d8. Excuse me, because there's no rook e5 yet because rook d1 check, and then if he plays like knight c3, then I can play e4, and then if bishop f4 check, bishop d6, and then I can play rook d6, and then my rook's on d6 instead of my king. So here he can play bishop f4 check here. Bishop d6, king d6, knight c3 is I don't care about that. I still just play rook to d8, but and then I can even play king e5 if I so desire. The other idea I have is to try to play bishop d5, knight c3. Okay. Well, here I'm definitely going to play rook d8. Yeah, here I'll play rook d8. We'll see what my opponent does, but yeah, it's hard to find a good move here. One other, yeah, that's fine. One other idea I have is also just bring my rook to d4 if he trades. And if he doesn't trade, I'm going to play bishop e5. I mean, this is a really good square for my bishop, so I won't turn it down. Also, I'm threatening, in quotation marks, bishop d4 and king b6, and then like a5 and b4. But threatening, I say, because it's not an actual like threat to win material, just to improve my pieces. I'm probably not going to be playing bishop c3 just because I don't want to create asymmetries. But I mean, again, it's not. It wouldn't be impossible. Okay, my opponent's going to take it off the table. Here, I kind of like. Kind of like knight d5 and f5, so I'm going to play that. Ooh. God, it's tempting to take. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, because now just rook d2 is very strong. And also just bishops are awesome. I think even no, maybe my opponent even has to play fe. Oh, that knight can't do anything, so I'll play rook d2. I can play bishop d6 to c5 and go after this pawn. And then when my opponent is tied down to complete passivity with rook f1, then I can bring my king up to e5 and play f5. Rook bat1. Okay. Well, now I can play, I think king d6. I'm not bothered by rook d1. Not bothered by c4. So here, now my idea is just to play f5. I gotta defend this first though. And if he plays king f1, I'm going to play, I suppose I have to play king e7, which is a little bit rough. But all right, yeah. Can even squeeze harder with this and try to pin that weakness down, but I don't think I need to do that yet. Although it's a reasonable thing to try, I might actually do it. I can just kind of play on both sides of the board is my opponent's problem. At the Soviet Union, I'm just going to start by squeezing on the king side. And then I might play a5, a4 at some point. No. To catchy tune, don't like the words of the Russian national anthem. Or Soviet national anthem. H4, I think I just snap that off and play H5, play H5 and F4 and F3. G3. All right. Do I play F4 yet is the question. I don't think my opponent can, he's going to start running out of moves soon. So I can just keep improving my pieces. Like I'm gonna play king e5, I'm gonna play bishop f8 to c5. I think even if I take off the e6 pawn, like my opponent, and okay, let's say I take the e6 pawn off, put my king on e5, I think my opponent is still in huge trouble. I don't think I know. So that makes me wish that was actually the position, because I think it would be more interesting to watch here with not only having two bishops against the knight with an asymmetrical pawn structure in an endgame, which is very favorable for the bishops. I'm also just up a pawn, so. I think this is going to be the last game because I'm coming up on almost an hour and a half. Now bishop f8 to c5, and my opponent really, I don't think he, I think the bishop ending's pretty straightforward, so he might even have to retreat his knight. Yeah, again, once this is a kind of a position that plays itself. Yeah. Yeah, that's the cure is going to be a lot worse. It's going to be worse than the disease here. Because now this is a target. Now I can come in with bishop e5 and hit this. He moves the knight, now f4 gains strength. And now he's going to be forced to play knight d1. Now I can play f4, followed by bishop d5. And I can even try to go after that. I mean, yeah, my opponent's position is going to fall apart here. I guess I'm just going to play bishop d5 and just keep improving. I mean, I don't really see a reason to make the position more complicated by taking here. Because, again, my opponent really, he can hardly move any of his pieces. If I take, doesn't matter. See, let's just bring my king back around. So I want to get my king to D. I want to be able to play check, and then I want to try to maneuver my king to D5 here. But reconnecting. A4. Sorry, the stream cut out there for a second. How do I actually win this now? I'm trying to figure out how to break through. I think bishop c4 wins because rook. Bishop c4, bishop e4, rook, bishop f1. Yeah, I guess I should have just taken him on. What about e3 check and bishop h2? Or bishop f2? Bishop g2. fe3, bishop g2. Knight f2. Does not work. Alright, I think I have to go back to trying to make another weakness on the king side, so. I think I have to do this kind of, try to play h5 now. And I can kind of keep this threat up my sleeve. The other idea is to play here on bishop b6 and then try to play e3 check. Yeah, that seems strong too. Bishop f2, e3 check, bishop f2, Bishop f2, or bishop e3 check, bishop g2. Bishop d3. Do I lose my... Yeah, I'm just going to do this. I just don't... I can do this and this now and play h5 if I need to. Ooh, that might let me play e3 now. King e2, I can just play king f4. c4 does nothing. I just take and then play king f4. And this is kind of an issue for the oppo. King f4, king g3, and the threat's just going to be bishop to g2 at some point. b2. Yeah, but now just bishop g2, right? And look, I didn't even need my e-pawn. Told you guys, right? Well, it's certainly not going to take that. If you could, can I take that? No, I can't. Takes c6, king e5, c7. All right, so I just played king h3. No checks. Knight d4. That I can. Then I can take. I can take on. I can take on g4. h3, knight e4, check, king e2, right? Yeah, I'll just be super careful here. If he plays king f1, I'll just go this way and eat these. Now the threat is just g3, g2 check. And then he will be, and then h, yeah. There is check. But then just king g3, right? And there's no check, and the threat is just g2 check. Oh, I can't, no, I can't, okay, so I play here. King f4. Knight d7, bishop a7, yeah, whatever. Yeah, bishop a7, knight f6 check, king f3. Stupid checks. Alright, h3 with the threat of g2 check, knight f6 check, king f5 is winning. This threat. Three, and there's no more checks, and there's nothing to stop g2 check. I lost 3 points and I gained 10 points. No, it's GG. But I gotta sign off here. It's almost 2 hours streaming now. So anyway, if you want to follow me on social media, just at Mike Fellman. Always doing lessons online, so hit me up there if you're interested. Mike Fellman signing off.